We're gonna go ahead and jump into the natural nail kit. I love this kit for working on those clients who don't really wanna maintain their gel manicure or enhancements, but they might be attending like an event and they just wanna have a more cleaned up look. So what I recommend is the natural nail kit. I am going to be working with a fine, small tapered barrel. So looking at my client's fingers is I see that the cuticle, we have some overgrown and we see that it's a little more thin. So I'm going to do everything as natural as possible. That's why I'm gonna use this kit. I'm in the forward direction and I am just lightly pushing into her proximal fold. I'm just shaping the curvature of the nail, very, very gentle. My pressure is like petting a little kitty. I'm gonna reduce my RPMs to about 6,000. Run your E-file low, so low that we're just literally tracing, but do not drag it. When we're running at low speeds like this, we wanna be intentional without not making too many passes, but we are working with a fine that allows us to maneuver and shape that cuticle more, okay? Once you have done all 10 fingers, then you're gonna switch the opposite direction. So you can see right here, we don't have all the cuticle lifted up. And then I'm gonna switch and look how it's coming right off. We want to move our E-file the opposite direction in which we're filing because we wanna lift the cuticle up and off. So I really like using the natural kit for my clients who are just have more thin skin, who are more skeptical or scared about an E-file, right? We want to build confidence. E-files aren't scary. Unfortunately, they have a bad rep because of improper use and because they can hurt, but this is so gentle. So if you're also in a spa, this is something you can use on literally every one of your clients and get beautiful results. What's nice too is there's no chemicals involved. So clients who might be receiving some kind of treatment or looking for a type of green service, they're really going to appreciate this waterless, chemical-free approach to nails. And I'm gonna ask my model, this is the first time she's actually had a dry manicure. I'm gonna ask, how does this feel?
Feels good.
Feels good. And since I'm working with fine, I can do multiple passes. So there's diamond on the head of this bit, and I'm pushing it into the proximal fold while tracing the cuticle area. What do I always say? You can only be as quick as your process. So my process is I would do all 10 fingers in forward, and then I would switch to reverse. So the benefits of utilizing your forward and reverse is when we're only working in one direction, when we start to get to the right side, the cuticle is more squished to the nail plate versus lifted up. So we always want to exfoliate. That's why we use an E-file and bits, is we're just constantly exfoliating. We're only exfoliating what is dead. This is very gentle on live skin. So it's a great place to start if you're a little concerned about dry manicuring. It's a great tiptoe before you dive right in. So elderly clients, you know, mama the bride, there she's gonna have beautiful results and her nail plate is going to look great. Now that I have this little overgrown, we see that right there. If I were to be pushing with this tool, I would be working pretty hard on a low speed. So I'm actually just going to increase my RPMs to about, let's go ahead and try 15,000 RPMs, and I'm just gonna trace it. I'm gonna work from the right to the left, and I'm in the forward direction, and I'm just grooming it. Literally what I'm doing is I'm just thinning it down, and I have my bit at a very slight angle. What I don't wanna do is put it completely parallel because I'm gonna overfile her nail, but I also don't wanna be up like this because I'll create rings of fire. Definitely check out my other tutorial about rings of fire. So we just have a slight incline where all I'm doing is running on that overgrown skin. You can actually hear a difference. So right now, I'm gonna just file it on the skin, okay? Now I'm gonna file it on her nail plate so you can hear the difference. Versus, that's a good indicator. And less is more, especially with this overgrown cuticle. Usually people with the overgrown cuticle, they're just excited that it didn't hurt. Don't feel like, oh, it's gotta be uniform with all the other nails, because then we go too far, they start bleeding and we lose confidence, okay? Sometimes less is more, especially depending on the type of cuticles, okay? Okay, I'm still gonna put that in reverse because my favorite technique is once I have like cleared the dead skin is to pull it back a little bit. Wow, what a difference. Okay, very gentle. I'm allowing the exfoliation of the bits with the proper RPMs. Okay, and with every skin type, this isn't like making chocolate chip cookies. Like you can follow the recipe, but you're gonna have a lot of variables depending on your client's skin type as well as their lifestyle, right? So like if you're in the beauty profession, being in water, bartenders, cleaners, we wanna make sure that we're not just doing the Instagram photo, but we're also accommodating and making sure our clients' nails are set up for everyday real life, okay? So what I was able to accomplish with the small tapered fine barrel is really exposing more of that natural nail plate and keeping that natural curve by taking the diamond particles and pushing into the proximal fold to kind of shape and create that rainbow cuticle area. Now you can see that we have some cuticle that is now lifted. You can do two things. You can either choose the other bit inside of the kit and exfoliate those right off, or if you want to be a little quicker, you can always go to your nippers. Now, anytime you work with nippers, you want to make sure that you're also polishing the area in which you were exfoliating. So regardless, I love this kit because I'm just going to take off these little skin tags. And then I'm also going to make sure I smooth because every time we cut, we have a blunt edge. If you choose to use nippers, we need to make sure that we smooth any of those blunt edges. So a blunt edge is like a raw skin edge. So we need to take our e-file and just go over that exfoliated or nipped area. This is also a great tool. Inside the natural nail kit, I'm working with the refine ball in fine. So if your client has these crusties or has dry skin, this is also an opportunity to just smooth that skin out, exfoliate that dryness, and then to go over the dead skin, circular motion, exfoliating. Look at that, beautiful. And right now my RPMs are at 14,000. And I'm just softening and polishing the skin so that as she goes back to mom life, that when she's doing dishes and cooking and loving her family, that they're not getting caught and torn, right? Everything is nicely polished. Very gentle. Everything in this kit is fine or very fine, making it really a gentle service. Now, we also have this refine ball in medium. If you have a client that is more crusty, she's very soft, well-hydrated hands, I would rather choose something less abrasive to just soften it. Whereas if I had somebody who is more crusty, I want to be efficient, so I would use a medium, which is going to be more grittier as I do my passes for thinning down the cuticle. I'm in the forward direction, and remember this is the one that was like had that overgrown sticky cuticle. Now I'm just softening that edge right by the proximal fold. I am not running the ball bit on the nail plate. Ball bits, in my opinion, are the hardest to master, and the reason for that is we get into this perfectionistic spirit. We take this rounded belly part and we start going over the nail plate, which we don't want to do. We don't want to hit the nail plate. We're not trying to prep it with this tool. We don't want to prep the nail plate with anything that has a ball. Oh yeah, so see how we're crusty right here? We're just going to take her finger, pull back that tip, and just give it some love. It's the little things in life, right? Like getting your cuticles exfoliated. And guys, this is something to think about too. Instead of playing the pricing game and always trying to reduce your prices, is if anything, add value to your service. Don't devalue it. I'm in the reverse direction, same RPMs. Is add on a cuticle treatment or exfoliation. Instead of it being your client's birthday and being like, oh yeah, here's a discount, just say, hey, I'm gonna do a lemon drop scrub with lemon drop cuticle oil, right? Didn't cost you anything more, but you're also not losing money and you're still taking time to celebrate with that person and show appreciation, right? You can love people well without discounting. That's gonna also play an impact in your overall income for the week, right? If you have 50 or 100 clients or 30 clients, if you discounted every service on a birthday or anniversary or special event, who's going to be paying your bills? So just add value. Okay, so now that we've exfoliated the skin, I am going to push back the cuticles after I remove the dust. Go ahead and gel. If I use polish, okay, so in this case, my client wants just regular polish. This is when I'm now actually going to apply my cuticle oil and use my very fine polisher ball. So why am I doing this? Well, because I want to hydrate the fingers, but I don't also want to sit around with my client and wait for that polish to dry. So I'm going to go ahead, work the oil in, use my polishing ball, then I will cleanse the nails and apply my polish, just regular polish. If this was an enhancement or gel polish, then I would wait till the end, okay? So you can be in forward reverse. I like speed. Speed is our friend. So I'm working at 20,000 RPMs. I'm working with the polisher. And this is also the last bit in the natural kit. It must be used with oil because we are buffing that oil into the skin, hydrating it, softening the skin so that we don't get any hangnails and just have a beautiful manicure. It's also going to set you up for success as well, as your pictures are going to look more natural and not like the client has too much cuticle oil on, because we're actually working the oil into the skin. I know it's difficult, but we should definitely have that conversation with our clients at every service about the importance of hydrating, lotion, cuticle oil. We do all these fancy things to our face, but what do we do with our hands that are constantly in all the elements, right? Can't tell you how many older people have said, my hands look so old. And it's like, yeah, what did you do in the beginning to take care of them? Did you put sunscreen on your hands? No. Did you exfoliate and hydrate? No. All right, I don't need to hydrate shame you. All right, so I want to quickly show you guys the comparison of what I've done. This is with the natural nail kit, and this is, we haven't done anything yet. If you remember, the middle finger had that overgrown sticky. We didn't switch out our bits. We just turned our RPMs with what we had, which was the small tapered barrel. So when you pull out a kit for a client, try to make it all work. You don't want to constantly be digging for another tool. Just play with the speeds, know in time that it will come. Look at this difference, very natural, very smooth. If somebody is looking for a natural or a less upkeep, this is the kit to have. Also, if you are just, I want to be very gentle and conscientious of the nail plate, this is the kit you need.